Which of the two panthers could fight better? For fighting, two sets of high-tech battlesuits was invented. Why only one panther survived in the end? The story began millions of years ago. The war over a meteorite happened. The African continent fell to Earth. However, life on Earth had been affected. There were 5 tribes at the beginning of human life. Humans called it Wakanda. Until a shaman warrior appeared, warriors were guided by the god of violence. A new type of plant was found. A warrior gained a superpower after consuming it. His speed and reaction were as quick as leopards. The warrior became the king there with his superpower. From then on, he guarded Wakanda. There were 5 tribes. 4 of them submitted to the rule of the king, but the Jabari tribe did not accept the rule of the king. They isolated themselves in seclusion. Wakanda people relied on vibranium to develop the technology. They became more advanced than any other country. It also arose envy between countries. When it got stronger and stronger, the whole world was in chaos and wars started. To protect the tribes and vibranium, the king used high technology to hide the whole country in the mountains. Even now, the richest man in the world was just equal to a normal person in Wakanda. When the old king was giving a speech, he was killed by terrorists. Fortunately, he had a son to inherit the throne, so others could not seek power and usurp the throne. Before inheriting the throne, T'Challa must drink the potion, disarming the superpower and accepting the challenge of the people to prove his ability to be the new king. Whoever won the challenge would become the new king. Trade tribe, border tribe, river tribe, mining tribe, none of the 4 tribes challenged T'Challa. Just when everyone decided that T'Challa was the new king, Jabari tribe living in seclusion in the mountains suddenly appeared. They were unwilling to stay in the mountains all their lives, so M'Baku offered a challenge. He also put down his words, "I'm very strong. Follow him and you'll know the taste of losers. Yield to me if you please." T'Challa couldn't listen to what he said anymore. He accepted his challenge with confidence. The battle had just begun. T'Challa was knocked down to the water, being the underdog. When the elders of the clan were about to announce the result of the battle, T'Challa reversed the situation, locking the opponent's neck and winning the challenge, becoming the new king. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. The first thing after inheriting the throne was to drink the potion and bury in cinnabar to restore superpower. Meanwhile, Wakanda's vibranium hammer was stolen by terrorists. Clower made Wakanda a felon in this crime. King T'Challa, who was still seriously injured, wanted to bring Clower to justice, doing what a king was supposed to. This black girl was not ordinary. Under 18, she was recognized as an inventor all over the world. The messenger used by the king was shielded in an instant. The panther suit was made of new nanotechnology. It could not only store energy but also turn external forces into their own. These high technologies were made by Shuri, T'Challa's younger sister. The gold trafficking officially began. The location was in the underground casino in Macau. T'Challa's old friend, Ross, also got involved. In this transaction, strangely, Ross turned out to be the buyer of the deal. Clower, who had been going undercover for more than 30 years, finally appeared and gave vibranium to Ross. Suddenly, Okoye appeared, attacking Clower when he was still overwhelmed. The whole underground casino fell into chaos. When T'Challa stopped Clower and was trying to arrest him, unexpectedly, Claw's arm was transformed by vibranium, turning into a weapon. Claw's arm was transformed by vibranium. Meanwhile, T'Challa put on his battlesuit and hurried to chase after Clower. The chasing was intense. T'Challa turned Claw's car over. With a backhand move, he held Clower by his throat and sent him to the interrogation room. In the process of pressing questions, Clower secretly told Ross Wakanda's secret. Suddenly, a loud explosion broke through the interrogation. Clower was rescued by the terrorists in the fire attack. They dropped a grenade to destroy the evidence. T'Challa blocked the bomb with his body. Just as T'Challa was about to catch Clower, another shot flew over from a few meters away. However, they left important evidence. The necklace T'Challa saw in the scene looked just like his. Ross was seriously injured in the explosion. T'Challa brought him back to Wakanda. Shuri treated him with vibranium. T'Challa wanted an answer about the necklace, so he asked the elder of the family. The elder told him the truth. T'Challa's uncle violated Wakanda. He had an affair with another woman and eloped to the United States. He was unwilling to be separated by the so-called family rules. To changing this situation, he decided to break the clan rules. On the crime of theft, he had become a traitor to Wakanda. Because of maintaining his authority, the old king killed him. The bandit with the necklace like T'Challa was his uncle's son. He was T'Challa's cousin, Eric. On the other side, Eric wanted to regain his throne by threatening T'Challa. He took Claw's body to Wakanda as a gift. T'Challa's cousin appeared unexpectedly. Who did the throne belong to? Could T'Challa hold his throne? How good was this panther? He fought against 1,000 troops on his own, defeating the whole army. Eric endured humiliation and waited until the moment of competing for the throne. The duel had just begun. Eric, who exploded his combat effectiveness, killed T'Challa. He threw his body into the Wakanda cliff. Wakanda now was ruled by the new king. To complete the rituals, the new king had to drink the potion to gain superpowers. Eric didn't take superpowers for himself. He set fire to all the magical herbs. The mighty king of Wakanda had just ascended the throne. He had changed the policy. The original policy was to develop all vibranium high technology secretly. The country shall not be exposed. After the change, the king ordered him to expose themselves to the world, sharing high-tech weapons with other countries. T'Challa's mother came to Nakia to avenge her son's death. Nakia was going to send a new type of herb as a trade request. Jabari tribe also helped them. Though the chief of the Jabari tribe didn't promise them, he found T'Challa's body. Fortunately, he was still alive. He was fed with the new herb. T'Challa woke up. They discussed how to regain the throne and kill Eric. The new policy was validated. The aircraft sent vibranium to the world for common development. When the aircraft had just taken off into the air, there was an explosion. Its wreckage fell to the ground. T'Challa, who wanted to revenge, returned to Wakanda. The frontier tribes took the lead in attacking T'Challa. T'Challa's army attacked Eric. Once they attacked, Eric's army created a defensive array. T'Challa jumped up. He used energy stored in the battle clothes to bounce out. After breaking the array, he picked up the spear with his hand and threw it at the fighter jet. T'Challa defeated the chief of the border tribe and kicked him away with 1 foot. The border tribe started to get back at his army. The sound of blowing the horn spread all over the battlefield in an instant. The rhinoceros rushed over at a speed of 100 miles per hour. T'Challa wanted to ride a rhinoceros to experience speed and power, but he couldn't tame it at first. He failed. The rhinoceros came to join the battle, kicking T'Challa out. Eric wanted to kill Shuri. How could T'Challa stand this direct eye burst? He left the battlefield. Just as Eric was about to kill Shuri, T'Challa dragged Eric into the cave. The two fell into the track of the maglev vehicle. The two were related by blood. They wore the panther suits with the same function. A battle began. Hundreds of rounds came down, but it was still hard to tell who was better. T'Challa, who lived here since childhood, was very familiar with this ground. The magnetic suspension stabilizer was convenient for him to row the panther suit. After a while, this tactic worked. Their panther suits lost their combat function in an instant. Suddenly, a handful of vibranium fell from the air. T'Challa caught it with one hand and pierced it into Eric's chest. Eric put down his resentment. In the setting sun, he gave T'Challa his words, slowly taking the weapon out of his body, and died. After that, Eric came to all countries for common development. Could T'Challa lead his people to hold the rivers and mountains that Wakanda ancestors fought down?